Welcome back, everyone. It's Stray Faye here with another episode of Cafe Enchante. We're starting Misyr's Route, Chapter 3. We had a lot of revelations last chapter. This whole time we believed that Misyr was the Demon King, but the real Demon King came along last chapter and kidnapped Kotone to be his lovely bride, which is kind of funny. But we ended up getting rescued by Misyr. And then something weird happened. The wormhole opened up. Misyr Blanche came out and just kind of caused Misyr to turn into something else, who is probably worse than a demon. What was he, the destroyer of worlds or something? Something absolutely catastrophic. But now that I think about it, it's kind of funny too. It's hey, I'm the destroyer of worlds, but if you heard of this cafe, has coffee to die for. But yeah, I guess you're gonna learn about Misyr a little bit more. He's probably stewing in his misery right now, as Kotone figured out what he is. Alright, let's begin. Strangely shaped arms. Strangely shaped legs. A strangely shaped body. I slowly set foot into the fissure that formed in space, as though torn open. Just like traveling through the gate, moving between worlds feels like floating. I lower my foot with a tinge of unease, not knowing if there really will be ground below, then the sensation of dry ash. I'm gonna guess Misyr's still in his demon form, so.
So it really is this place.
Beyond the fissure, in space that opened for some reason during my rampage. Stretching far and wide is scenery that I'm so used to seeing, I'm tired of it.
Even Kotone knows now.
I look at my ominous palms and mutter in self-deprecation. Depreciation? What an ugly form. Despite being used to it, I think this every time I see myself. No matter how accustomed she is to the existence of non-humans, this strangely shaped form, seeing the power of ruination I spread. Of course, she would think nothing of it. Exposed to the rough air, I slowly begin to walk. If the air in the demon world I came from is like a gloomy and stagnant swamp, the air in this world is like an arid desert that exists to torment people. It's as though even this sad feeling I have will dry up and scatter away.
I didn't think this lie would be found out. I didn't want to think it. I'm just a demon king who likes coffee. I say unsettling things once in a while, chatting with all the regulars at the shop. I watch over her while she works, enjoying the coffee she makes. That was enough for me. I can't even do that.
Spreading before my eyes are nothing but countless little hills where ash has piled up a bit more. In this world, over the span of tens of thousands of years, the countless people I cared for, the countless graveyards of sentiment, thousands upon thousands, far too many to count, these depressing graves grave markers of ash.
I'm back, everyone.
That's right. In the end, this is the only place I belong. No matter what mask I wear, no matter what falsehoods I use to deceive, lies are always found out eventually. Back to Kotone. After the incident where I was carried off to the demon world by the demon king called Asmodeus, having taken refuge in the wormhole just before the demon world was reduced to waste, Canis and everyone came back to find me. Me and a captured Asmodeus were brought back to the human world. We took him with us. There to greet us in our confusion were Rindo and his GPM subordinates. At the time, my head was too full. I don't even remember how I explained it all to Rindo, Canis, and everyone else. For the time being, after handing over Asmodeus and arresting him under kidnapping charges, we all stayed at an inn for the night. I was just like, we haven't seen this hotel room in a while. This is where I first had, like, the nightmare. The next morning, at the GPM headquarters, let me start with the conclusion. As we thought, no connection exists between Demon World Asmodea and Demon King Misyr. The words Rindo bluntly said rang especially loud in the morning silence. There's no mistake about it? Yes, unfortunately, we found evidence. Last night, we interrogated the arrested Asmodeus, as well as his surviving demon subordinates.
Humph! Don't make me repeat myself, humans! The only Demon King reigning in Asmodea is me alone. Demon King Asmodeus. I'd never even heard of the name Misyr. And actually, first remove these restraints. I must go see my bride.
Still going on about that? Anyway, it went kind of like that. According to Rindo, Asmodeus had great luck in escaping the worst trouble. Didn't his, like, arm and leg get, like Thanos snapped off? Got, like, it turned into ash. To prepare the ceremony with me, he had gathered all the demons in the planned venue out in the countryside. That ashen power of Misyr seemed to have stopped after destroying only half of the demon world. Holy crap. So, like, everyone who was invited to the wedding ceremony probably got wiped out with it. The place the demons had gathered happened to be in the remaining half. Thus, his subordinates and other demons avoided succumbing to that destructive power. Oh, they all managed to survive. Okay, I thought they were, like, in that palace. Like, were they, like, close to the epicenter of that disaster? Okay, I guess he had some other venue on the other side of the world. That's good. By the way, the arm and leg Asmodeus himself lost were reformed with magic power. Well, that's good for him too, because like that would have been permanent if it was anyone else. There were no deaths in that incident. In that sense, I think from my heart that it's a relief. But in the end, the fake Demon King was Misyr. He, Asmodeus, was the real one. In fact, It's possible that Misyr isn't even a demon. No, he's a being of unknown origin. Misyr himself even admitted that Asmodeus is the real Demon King. Definition. Asmodeus, the real Demon King who rules the demon world. A high-tension man who fell for the heroine at first sight and tried to make her his bride. That's why I can't even object to what Il said when reconfirming the facts. But first, Then, exactly what world is Misyr from? I want to know that. The only way we can know is if we ask him. That would be fastest. There, Ignis cuts off in an awkward way. I'm about to ask what's wrong, but I understand the meaning of that silence. I see. Who knows if we can even see Misyr?
Indeed. If Misyr comes to the shop going forward, we can ask at that time. However, if he is concerned that his true form or power is now known to you, he may never come back to Enchante again.
Yeah, since nobody here is from the same world as him, we can't connect the gate to where he is. In that case, naturally, we have no means to go near the one known as Misyr Rex. That means he's gone completely. I never even imagined the possibilities since he had been coming to Enchante every day until now. If the demon world and his position he spoke of was all a ruse, we've never had a single connection to him or his world. Right from the beginning. I'm sorry, because this might feel like kicking you while you're down, but... Mikado meekly raises his hand. When Misyr turned into that strange form, it wasn't just the demon world. The entire human world also had intense earthquakes at the same time. The entire human world? Really? Could that be... like when the fissure opened up in front of Enchante? Like the shaking of the world itself? Yes. Fortunately, there was no great disaster like in the demon world, but... since then, frequency of wormholes occurring has greatly increased. Considering the timing, I doubt it's unrelated. We need to be prepared for the unexpected events for a while. I'm sorry for saying it in a way suspecting Misyr. Subduing his usual eccentricity, Mikado apologizes to me, and I couldn't complain. We all quietly leave the GPM. Getting into a car procured for us by Rindo, I absent-mindedly stare out at the city road. I still have no sense of reality. Or it still has no sense of reality. Almost everything he said was painted over with falsehoods. His liking coffee. His being the strongest demon king from the demon world who likes teasing people. Form of that person who I looked at and talked with like normal until now. Misyr Rex, third definition. His self-proclaimed status as Demon King. or even being a demon was all a lie. His true identity is that he is a man of much mystery who took on an abnormal form and wields the power to turn his surroundings into ash. It now seems far away and uncertain. After getting home, maybe Misyr will have come back with that usual nonchalant look on his face. Such positive thinking by us was all in vain. As expected, no sight of Misyr at the shop. After returning to Enchante, I didn't feel like doing anything at all, and when the evening came, I went right to sleep. Then, the next morning, what woke me up was what seemed like a small shaking on my shoulder. Another earthquake? Q! Goro also woke up in surprise, snuggling up against me and trembling. I hold Goro, protecting it, and wait for the shaking to settle. A few minutes later, the shaking stopped. The scale was small, but it's after that incident happened. According to Mikado, the earthquakes and wormholes occurring in various places aren't unrelated. Can't help but put myself on guard. Wormholes, huh? The shape is strange, so fissures in space. We were calling them something like that, but the fissure that opened up in the demon world was also just another kind of wormhole. So beyond them, there should be another world. I wonder what world Misyr returned to through there. Cute. It's been one night since then, but I wonder if you'll come to the shop today. I'm also curious if anything broke during that earthquake just now. To be ready to make coffee whenever Misyr comes back. Yeah, I'll run the shop like normal today. To make preparations, I change my clothes and head downstairs. Huh? There, alone. Sitting in the chair closest to the room with the gate, I find Il. Il, what's wrong? When I call to him, Il slowly raises his head. I was waiting here for Misyr to come to the shop. Oh. I wanted to let you know the moment he came. He speaks softly to me, and in front of him is a game console with an Otome game set inside. But he isn't playing it. He just sits there with it on the table. How long could he have been waiting here for Misyr to come? Oh, it's like a puppy waiting for the owner to come home. He is like a baby bird. Il, it's still early in the morning. I think Misyr usually comes a while later. So, how about I bring something to drink out, and we can drink together while waiting? Il nods in silence and still seems somewhat sad. Afterwards, I had an espresso and Il drank a coffee float. While the two of us quietly waiting to hear the sound of the gate. However, even long after the time he usually comes to visit, there's no cheerful doorbell sound announcing the Demon King's visit. The more time passes, the gloomier me and Il's expression become. Il, that Otome game, You're not going to play? I ask a question to change the mood, but Il shakes his head. This. I didn't bring it to play it. I brought it to show Misyr. Misyr? Just this morning. A memory. I saw a dream and remembered. This Kotone game is a remake of the one Misyr bought for me around when we first met. I don't clearly remember the time, but when he comes, I wanted to show him and talk about old memories. I see. Il, you must get along especially well with Misyr. I often see you two together. Yes. From the first time we met, he told me, I just can't leave you be, and has been concerned about me ever since. I kinda get it. Misyr is... he feels kinda like your older brother. He's usually carefree about everything, but he seems to like to care for people, or talk to them with no discrimination. Does he really? Hold no discrimination? Huh? When Il spills these words, my hand freezes as I was about to drink my espresso. No, I didn't mean that in a negative way. I simply couldn't find a more appropriate way to express it. The smile that Misyr only gives you to you alone. Among all the knowledge I possess, it seems the most kind and beautiful. That's how I perceive it. At Enchante, watching the sight of you two, I like that more than anything. Is that so? With what kind of feeling? I don't know what Il means by this special kind of smile. But if I had to guess, it must be because I'm the owner of this place. And also, I thought it would never happen again. Really, to think such a day would come. When I was little, maybe he's being nice because we met before? The moment I say this, Il raises his head with a questioning look. In your childhood, he has met you? You met Misyr. Huh? Yeah. You know, you were still so small. You wouldn't remember, huh? Wait, did I meet you at some point in the past, Misyr? It was such a short meeting after all. It isn't surprising that you don't remember. I think Misyr said something like that. That's clearly an inconsistency, isn't it? An inconsistency? Il nods and starts explaining while looking towards the gate with a troubled expression. According to Il, the order that the regular customers of Enchante first came to the shop is... First, the longest serving member, Canis, followed by Il, then Misyr. After a long gap of time, Shortly before the collision with the GPM, it seems Ignis came to the shop. However, until my dream this morning, I perceived the order in which Misyr and I came to the shop as the reverse. He'll also mention that it's likely the same as Canis, who isn't present right now. Wait, the reverse? In other words, Misyr first came to the shop after Il. That's the correct order. Il first came to the shop after Misyr. That's what he believed? How could you have that misunderstanding? That's because, saying this, Il continues his story with mixed feelings. According to what he remembered this morning, in reality, for a while after first coming to the shop, he had been unwell under the effect of the air in this world. He wasn't used to it. Grandpa was looking after him, and he was asleep in an empty room. Then, Misyr made his first visit around that time. After Il's condition improved, they were introduced, it seems. Canis was absent at the time, and he had forgotten most of his memories during his time asleep. Seeing how accustomed Misyr was to being at Enchante by then, he was mistaken as the senior who came to the shop first. In other words, the reverse order. Until now, he himself and those around had believed that. So, that's how it happened. But why do you sense that as an inconsistency? At around the same time I came to the shop, his granddaughter, you, left Enchante. That's what Swan told me. So then, if Misyr first came after me, but also said that he met you before, that's what he stated, correct? Huh? When he puts it that way, there does seem to be a huge disconnect. After that, I didn't visit Grandpa's shop even once. What could this mean? I have no certainty or basis for this, but between you and Misyr, something I don't know. There could be some other point of contact between you. We won't know that until Misyr comes back, so tell me he's gonna be like a time traveler or something. Il's words ended up being in vain. Even past closing time, Misyr didn't come to the shop. Misyr had come to Enchante every single day before. He didn't visit the day after or the next. Still can't believe this is real. I end up spacing out. No matter what I think about, all that comes up in my head is the rear view of Misyr as he left me. Cute. When will he get to the shop? More importantly, will he ever come at all? This is all I think about. I can't help but feel distracted, and I can't do my work properly. For now, I should rest my body and mind. I decided to close business for today. However, I can't calm down if I'm not doing anything. In the end, I descend down to the shop to try and clean the name of the rest. The name? Clean in the name of the rest, okay. Their mess. To vent the place out, I approach the window. Hear what seems to be talking from the room with the gate. Get curious when I peek inside. Oh, you two, okay. Ignis and Canis are looking at the gate with serious faces. Are they waiting for him too? Naturally, as long as no customers visit, the gate doorbell wouldn't ring. Ignis? Canis? When I call to them, the two turn around. Hey, what's up? I could be asking you the same thing right now. What are you two doing? Going back to your worlds? It doesn't seem like it.
Indeed. There was just something we wish to test with the gate.
Test? It's brute force by number strategy. We're gonna try opening the gate over and over and over again. Wait, are you just hoping that, like, you're gonna keep opening it and, like, somehow the world's gonna be different? Then maybe it would end up connecting to where Misyr's at. I could try, maybe Kotone could open it. Like, where would that take her? What? Maybe it would end up connecting to Misyr's world? The gate connection should be limited to the world the person who opens it is from. They've used it over and over now. They should know that better than anyone. But
the possibility is not zero. In the first place, this gate is a relic that we do not fully understand. There was the accident before with you.
tens or hundreds of times. If we keep opening it, it could connect to his world by chance, right? Or he could end up on Amasaki Island like Kotone.
Well, that was the idea. We were considering things that we could possibly try.
That's right. Instead of doing nothing, that's far more constructive. Thanks, you two.
I believe it is a little early to thank us before we have succeeded.
Alright, let's go for round one. If this is no good, then you do the next one. Duh! Maybe to put some life into it, Ignis unleashes a sharp kick into the gate to forcefully open it. Oh, great. Heyo, I'm here for a visit! And I have some business with bro. With perfect timing, Dromi comes to visit the shop, and it lands cleanly in his gut. Oopsie. He slams in the door, slumps over, and goes unconscious, foaming at the mouth for Dromi. As though trying to land a finishing blow. Hey, wait, Venia. Excuse me. I hear a headless knight is staying here. On his first visit to Enchante, the surprising guest from the fairy world puts a forceful step onto his body. He's making Dromi the punching bag. Ugh. I thought everything inside my body would come flying out of my mouth. Sorry about that. This time, he had no fault. It was just an unfortunate accident. Even Ignis, the one who unleashed the impressive kick, gave an honest apology to Dromi. Although, if I had to say, the more surprising one is the other guest. Venia, you haven't come here since, like, Canis' route.
So, what exactly is the meaning of this, Venia? True, I told you the location of the gate. However, for you to leave the Fairy Queen and come to Enchante,
between us, I did not leave Her Highness's side because I wanted to. Venia gives Canis a stern look. As of a few days ago, there has been a major anomaly related to the wormholes in Medio. To report that, and to encourage you to deal with it, I took the trouble of coming here myself.
An anomaly?
Whoa! A few days ago? Could that be what the fairy there's talking about?
Still holding his stomach, Dromi raises his head and speaks to Venia. Someone he's just meeting for the first time.
Really scary, weird fissures in space that totally erase the area they appear in.
Wait, fissures? Yes, that's exactly correct. But how did you know?
That's because since last night we've been having the same fissures popping up in Bestia like crazy.
At the story established between the two, Canis and Ignis stand up from their seats.
Fissures in space, you say? Like the one that opened up in the demon world?
Hey, Dromi! What the hell is this about? You better tell me every little detail.
Bro, don't check my body like that. That's what I came here for.
It seems. I must also speak with him about this, and it would be best to share information. According to the two, around the time Canis and Ignis stopped returning to their worlds to guard me, in each world, small-scale wormholes started to occur more than usual. However, if that was all, they just needed to not get sucked in. A simple coincidence. It could be settled with a short line like that. But last night, everything changed. According to Dromi, who had a grasp of time in the human world and his testimony. Uh-oh. The same time that Misyr took that form in the demon world and destroyed it, and space was torn in the sky, an earthquake occurred like the human world. But it was even worse. In both Medio and Bestia, the normal seeming wormholes changed to giant fissures in space. As though sucking it in, everything around where they occurred was annihilated. Those fissures, in other worlds too. And unlike the time at Amasaki Island, they annihilated their surroundings.
I heard the rumors, and I went to see the former site of the Minotaur territory vanished completely.
It even gave me chills. Dromi says this and holds his own shoulders. Since time prior in Medio, while they did not become fissures, signs of this began to occur. As I conducted investigations into it, I saw the moment of a fissure occurring with my own eyes. And the fissure that occurred annihilated an edge of Yggdrasil. Normally, the World Tree has a frightening level of vitality and regeneration power. But inexplicably, as though the gouged out section had succumbed to necrosis, it did not regrow. After hearing the two's testimonies, we all look at each other in the face. Hey, Venia! About the fissure in space you saw. Did anything around or inside it leave an impression? Or did anything look strange? something that left an impression. Let's see, now that you mention it. If I recall, what appeared to be white sand fluttered around the area for a moment. White sand? That's... Are you sure it wasn't ash? Ah, true. It could have been that.
It sounds as though, as Kotone said before, what accompanied Misyr's strange form, a close resemblance to his ability to turn his surroundings to ash.
Then... is this Demon Misyr?
I'll return to my world. To restrain this power. It takes some time after all.
Everything beyond those fissures. Could that be the world Misyr is in?
The probability is high.
However you want to slice it, it's only not just a... It's only... words. Too many voices. It's just not a coincidence. I thought this was only happening in the human world, but...
In 3 worlds now, and including every world out there, what exactly is occurring?
Bro.
When Ignis starts pondering, Dromi hangs his head a little.
I know everything's going on here is pretty serious, but, you think you could come back with me? You know, just for a while. It's 'cause of those fissures. Bestias is kind of in a bit of a panic right now on account of them.
Enough to make killing each other a secondary issue. Dromi speaks of the confusion over there.
So, I want you to do what it takes to calm the demon beasts down. Even if it's a little physical persuasion.
As I'm jumping on this opportunity, Venia also speaks to Canis, or more like throws instructions at him. Canis, you must return to Medio as well. We have perceived the occurrence of these fissures as a great threat. While we have yet to decide on the exact method to deal with them, your original duty is to defend Medio. We would like you to fulfill that duty now. Like, Canis I get, but like, Dromi taking Ignis away is like, I remember what happened last time. The two of them look at me in silence and hesitate a moment. I take a guess at the meaning of their gazes. I'll be okay. Well, I'm sure you two are really worried about Misyr too. I'm sure you would be mad if you knew you ignored the dangers in your homelands. I'm sure. Damn it. So annoying. Just one problem after the next.
However, we should accept her offer in this case. Also, even if we return to our own worlds, this does not mean we abandon Misyr.
Right. And actually, going back might help us make some progress. If fissures are happening over there, we might be able to see them. We can even check what's inside them. Thanks, but don't do anything dangerous. The two nod firmly at the same time. Afterwards, after telling Rindo and everyone on my smartphone about the anomalies in Medio and Bestia, Canis and Ignis returned to their own worlds to start investigating and dealing with the fissures. Right now, it seems Rindo is also busy investigating the earthquakes occurring in the human world. Due to this, guarding me at night is entirely on ill. Gotta sleep in bed together. The threat of those fissures even happening in other worlds. So we got fissure, second definition. Dangerous wormholes that scatter ash and attempt to swallow and annihilate the surrounding area. They all seem to be connected to Misyr's world. Despite maybe holding the key to them, Misyr, yet again today, didn't come to the shop. Several days passed after that. Even after Ignis and Canis returned to their homelands. With no change, Misyr didn't come. Only the anomalies we call earthquakes continued to pass. The only one who would always come to the shop every day to deliciously drink coffee, who would talk casually, watching over my development, not seeing him for all this time. Really is sad. Hey, are you okay? Maybe you should take a rest from work. I can't even eat. After healing his wounds and coming to help again, I end up being cared for by Karia. Thank you, Karia. But Canis and Ignis come back once in a while, and this is their place to relax. In place of those two.
Even my bro is having trouble calming down the demon beasts.
Canis is also prioritizing the rescue of fairies. That will require his undivided attention for some time. As intermediaries for information, Jeremy and Venia also come to Enchante at regular intervals. Well, at least Kotone's business is like not in shambles. They still has some customers. And Il is still here. Almost every day, without sleeping at night, Il has been guarding me. Not seeing him for all this time, it's also concerning. To pull myself together, I lightly slap my cheeks. The gate... No, it's not. The bell on the front door rings. Who could it be? Maybe Rindo? In that case, I need to greet him properly. So I fix my uniform and straighten my back. What? Who let you out?
It's been some time, my pride. I'm sure you were lonely while I was gone.
Our shop has actually just closed up for the day. Kari's probably pissed at him. In front of me, Garia forcefully closes the door and shuts out the dark-skinned guest.
What are you doing? You're closing shop now? Are you not serious about running your business? If you would separate me from my bride, unlike last time, I will show no mercy.
Shut up. Be quiet and go home, go home. You're pure evil. Karia goes to freeze the door to lock it shut, but... Karia, I know why you'd want to shut him out, but... Rindo's here as well. Me and the Demon King over here have something important to talk about, so could you let us in? Couldn't refuse Rindo's request. Even though he was with Asmodeus, he still felt indebted to him, so he let them in the shop. So, Rindo, why is Asmodeus here? He heard he was arrested at the GPM on charges of human kidnapping. Well, for one, Asmodeus here has some important information about the current matter. Who brings our kidnappers? Who brings the kidnapper back to the victim? Oh well. And well, reluctantly on my part, he ended up getting a waiver to leave as an exemption. What? The demon world was in a terrible situation, so can't really make it any worse. Rindo says this to put us at ease, but
I see. So this is my bride's shop. While the interior isn't awful, it seems somewhat lacking in presentation. Very well. In that case, I shall gift you a golden Asmodeus statue from my castle. When I'm away, admire my statue as much as you would like to stave away your loneliness.
I'll pass. Naturally, for both myself and everyone else, his being here gives us mixed feelings. But he doesn't notice at all. He casually picks up a menu that was sitting on the table.
Now then, my bride, I'd like to place a so-called order. I'll take your recommendation. After you prepare it with love and devotion, I will say ah, and you'll feed it in my mouth.
Have you been hanging out with Ill? As he makes such an absurd order. Please leave. With a sad voice, Ill shows his rejection.
What?
Huh? Quite unexpected remark. A double take along with Karya and Rindo. Ill? Normally he shows no hostility or wariness, no matter who it is. What could this be so suddenly? Ill, with a trembling voice, reveals his reason. You are the one who kidnapped Kotone. You caused a change in Misyr, and he stopped coming to Enchante. If Misyr never comes back again, and is separated from her, Ill is left hanging his head in a solemn despair. It is your fault. Hey you. What do you think after saying that?
It pains my heart.
I bet. Well, how about you bringing it down a level and actually participating in the meeting?
Yes, I understand.
After consoling Ill and somehow getting him to agree to letting Asmodeus join us. Mikado's here too. This is a big old meeting of villains, isn't it? Right! Seems your thinking is about the same as my hypothesis. Later, Mikado visits the shop after a while and meets up with us. We talk about what we're doing currently and what happened between us. The self-proclaimed Demon King, Misyr Rex. The world he comes from is, without mistake, what was recently in other worlds, as well as Amasaki Island and the Demon World. Beyond those fissure-type wormholes, I can say this with confidence. The reason he was able to close the fissure at Amasaki Island is because he could intervene on what opened from his own homeland, I would assume. They are fundamentally called wormholes, so it makes it a little hard to distinguish. In that case, we could definitely refer to these as fissures. Perhaps we should unify our naming of them as such. I've been already calling them wormholes. So, the dangerous tears in space that connect to Mysyr's world and annihilate everything around them are fissures. And the normal wormholes that connect to other worlds like Bestia will continue to be called wormholes? Yes, I believe that would be best. At our exchange, Mikado, Rendo, and everyone also nod in agreement. However, although we know his location, we can't be completely happy with this, can we? Huh? You heard about the fissures that keep repeating out in Bestia and Medio, right? Yeah, Dromi and everyone talked about it.
Also, I don't mean to interrupt, but this has also been in the area of my dominion. In fact, the demon world, they occur on even a more dangerous scale. For a little while now, these fissures, as you call them, were occurring with a very strange frequency in the demon world. One after another, villages and regions would vanish completely.
It seems that this is the reason why Asmodeus was motivated to plot an invasion of the human world. In each of your worlds, wormholes evolved into fissures. And it wouldn't be strange if such anomalies began to occur in the present human world. Almost as a precursor to that, the occurrence of wormholes have continued in the human world since the other day. Il, now in his calm, usual manner, suggests it to be strange that these anomalies we're discussing haven't already happened. If these fissures start appearing around the planet, like in all the other worlds, it could really be the end of our world. That's why, personal feelings aside, I want to contact Misyr as a resident of that world. Even if we know he's beyond the fissures, and just getting close turns you to ash. Mikado makes a surrendering gesture, saying he presently has no solutions. The meeting ends for the time being. Rindo, along with Mikado, stuff Asmodeus into a car, and after making preparations to leave, tries to get in the driver's seat. As he tries to get into the driver's seat, rather, I stop him. Rindo, thank you very much for today. There's still a lot of mysteries about Misyr, but after hearing from specialists, I think my feelings are more positive now. At least, a little bit. Sure, but it's still too early to thank me. We need to come up with a way to capture Misyr and drag him out in front of you. We have to make him take responsibility for causing you to make such a sad face, right? How very like Rindo. He always enjoyed jabbing Misyr with a dose of sarcasm. But I'm less sad and more frustrated. Frustrated? Yeah. Misyr always... You would come to my shop every day, after all. So I could tell him what I wanted any time. That's what I thought, anyway. So about the lie he mentioned. About wanting to spend more time together. Things of the heart. I wouldn't be able to say it with my own voice. I told myself he comes every day. That I'll be able to tell him at any time. But these understandings as the reason I was entrusting everything to Misyr. But now, because I can't see Misyr, I can see how much I was depending on him to visit. It's really quite painful. I see. That's why. If I get to see him again, I wouldn't hesitate to say everything. What I want to know. What I want him to tell me. What I want to tell him now. Several more days passed after that. As slight moonlight pours over the night. Cue. Being careful to not wake Koro up. Unable to sleep late at night, I stand quietly at the counter. Il was guarding me yet again tonight, but perhaps out of caring for my feelings. After I promised to call right away, if anything happened. He's now waiting on standby in the backyard, ready to rush into the shop if needed. While I'm grateful to him. Misyr didn't come again today. Saying this, I look down at my hands. There is Misyr's coffee cup, returned after the GPM investigation ended. My face reflecting in the blackness inside is gloomy. This pattern has been the same for days. I think maybe today, Misyr will come to visit and pump myself up to run to the shop. Then, at night, after he hasn't come, I get depressed and fall asleep. Misyr's not coming to the shop. Really is sad. Yeah, if he did come back, I'll tell him everything I couldn't while he was gone. That's right. And I'm sure Misyr would smile like always. And then... As I talk to myself, I trail off and let out a light sigh. While thinking about him, I naturally poured into his coffee cup coffee. But I don't feel like drinking it. All I do is stare intently as it sways on the counter. If you'd like to know our relationship, she's a cafe owner and I'm a customer. However, if I speak from my personal feelings, to me, across other worlds, through every world out there, she's the most important woman to me. She's my light, my warmth, the one who gave me a place to be. So, at the very least, I wouldn't make a stupid mistake like giving her to the likes of you. The most important. I don't know what kind of feeling he put into those words. But if he sees my existence as impactful enough to say something like that, I want to see him. I want him to come see me. Wishing for something like that might be selfish. To my prayer. A fissure before my eyes answers. Uh-oh. Oh, Misyr's perspective. Is he, are we gonna... Huh. Alright, I'm gonna guess. Still in demon form.
There. That should be all the new graves. Seriously, what's going on? Aren't there too many guests from other worlds falling in here lately? I can't show them hospitality, or even care for them.
I look at my hands. Of course, they still have a terrible form.
At least a section. I've managed to recover that, but it'll be a while before my whole body returns.
No, to be precise.
Returns. Yeah, right. That one's the fake. This one's real.
Such self-derision escapes my lips. Also, even if I imitate a human form again, what would it change about the situation? In the end, I might just be afraid of returning to Enchante. I'm sure everyone has realized the lie I was telling. Until now, I thought I could maintain this form as long as I abided by the conditions. No! Stop! 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 A sudden manifestation. I barely avoided even turning her into ash. Again, if the same thing happens again at Enchante, that would... Just imagining it is far too terrifying. And the trigger for that was... from a fissure. No, it appeared from this world. That mysterious young man. Even though this world shouldn't have any residents but me. After that, I tried searching for his whereabouts. But as I imagined, no matter how much I search this ashen land, I can't see so much as a shadow of him. However, if he does appear again, the same thing would occur. I weighed my thoughts. In such a dangerous situation, I couldn't return to Enchante. But my heart is opposite of my own warning.
I want to go back to Enchante.
It's impossible. The more I think, the harder it is to stop. I miss it so much, I just can't bear it. The days I spent at that shop. And more than anything, the woman there who's probably waiting for me. The most in the world. The most important person.
I want to see her. I just want to go see her.
As I was thinking this, for just a second, I smelled something that made me nostalgic. I thought it was my imagination, but...
The cinches. Guided by the scent.
Guided by the scent that drifted to me again, I tread the ash thinking it couldn't be so. This is strange. It can't be. In this world, that scent shouldn't exist. A sweet yet bitter scent.
Why? How?
I walk faster, and up ahead, there's a small fissure that opened. Like the boundary of the world is tearing. Back to Kotone's perspective, oh no. That was like a night before when I met that mysterious young man. The spectacle is an exact repetition. A fissure that opened in the air. Blowing from it is a terribly rough, lukewarm wind. But strangely, that fissure doesn't cause the annihilation that's occurred in other worlds. Well, that's lucky. It simply floats there, as though connecting me to something. It might be dangerous. Naturally, I'd feel that way. However, The yearning for the mere possibility makes me step forward without any hesitation.
Kotone?
There's no mistake. I would never mistake it. The voice leaking from beyond the fissure. Misyr! Both of our voices cut through the wind. Nightmare fuel. The sound of a kiss crossing the fissure.
Ha! Ha ha! What a surprise! Really?
His laughing voice that spills through is mixed with both surprise and joy. His form hasn't changed since we parted in the demon world, but his way of talking, there's no mistake. It's him, the one I've been wanting to see. Misyr's big body shakes, and he sighs from a mouth I can't see.
You know, we always tell you, or maybe I do, that I am the last boss. Call us amazing. But you're the amazing one. Bring me such a miracle.
I was shocked too.
Ha ha! What is it? You sound like you're about to cry.
Because my regular customer who come visit me every day just stopped showing up completely. Of course, I'd be worried, right?
You still think of me as a regular customer at Enchante? Even knowing I was lying, even after showing my terrible form.
Of course I do. After all, your existence is already a part of my daily life, Misyr. If you aren't nearby, I just can't find peace. Of course, there are loads of things I want to ask about you. But more importantly, I wonder how you're doing now. I wonder things like that every single day. So, no matter what shape you take, I'm just so happy to see you again. Misyr, where are you right now? Is that really your...
Yeah, this is my world. The real one.
Misyr speaks softly. The form he takes in front of me now really is his true form. His usual form is nothing but a temporary vessel restraining the power that turned the Demon King's castle to ash. The power operates outside his will, weathering all around him indiscriminately. Life, attacks, even worlds. Before him, everything turns to ash. Such an amazing power can't be held back easily. That's why Misyr returns to his world every night, as he needs to return to his true form. In his original world, he was forced to take that form. During that time, he continues using magic on himself to imitate human form again. Passing through the gate to the human world after this, Misyr adorns his usual form. That's the mechanism. However, this mimicry isn't all-powerful, and it does have a time limit. Mimicry. Magic used by Misyr to hold back the ashen power, in his strange form by using this magic and traveling to another world. He takes the usual form of Misyr. However, there is a time limit to how long he can keep this form. His true form appeared last time because... did I skip something? Okay, no. That day's time limit of 2100 hours was approaching. He should have still had about an hour's time, but... that mysterious young man's calling sped up the removal of his mimicry. The reason Misyr can't live at Enchante and why he couldn't guard me at night was all because of that. So that was the reason. After hearing it all, I tell him that Canis and everyone along with the demons were all safe. He breathes a sigh of relief, but his voice is tinted with regret.
After losing so much of my power, it'll take a bit to return to my usual form. So, I'm stuck in this weird body, the one that almost destroyed the demon world for a while. The danger of this power possesses if it happens to go out of control. I understood that, yet I kept quiet. I thought if you found out with going to Enchante, maybe I wouldn't want to see you anymore.
Isn't that too selfish? He laughs, but it's so sad. Misyr! Misyr is about to say more, but I stop him. And next to the fissure, being careful not to spill what's sitting on the counter, I move it to where he could see it through the fissure. Here you go. That was.
Is that coffee?
Yeah, the one you said was delicious. Every time you drank it, that blend. After all, Misyr, I know you really love coffee. And I'm sure it was tough not being able to drink it lately. Oh, but you have that power of yours, so you can't take it? I suddenly remember that, but Misyr slowly shakes his head.
I'm sure it'll be fine. That cup is special after all.
With a look of nervousness, he extends his hand towards the fissure. Then, just the part of his hand coming to the fissure changes into his usual fingertips. He gently lifts the cup to take it back into the fissure. As he said, even in a world where all becomes to ash, that cup will not change form. It's just there, held in Misyr's hand.
Are you not afraid of me? Back then at the shop, and now, this terrible form of mine that changes everything to ash.
Changes everything to ash. True, that's a fearsome power. But the you that you are now, and the you at Enchante, they're both Misyr to me. That's why, despite knowing nothing, I wouldn't be afraid of you. Even now, you're the Misyr Rex I like is. Just a kind demon king who loves coffee.
I really am no match for you. Ever since then, you've done nothing but save me.
Misyr's arms tremble so much, he could drop the cup if he eases up. Since when?
It was this. What you said before.
Then, what are the conditions for coffee to become your favorite? That's a secret.
My favorite, best coffee.
Wait, is that... Before I can ask him the meaning, the fissure in space lets out a whine. I'm sure that's a sign that it's about to start closing. Before the moment disappears completely, Misyr begins to raise his voice.
I'll tell you everything. About me. And this world. The next time I ring the bell at Enchante. I won't hide anything from you. Or that little counter of yours. Where you always made me feel like I belong.
It's a promise that he'll come back to Enchante with a smile. Yeah! At that counter, I have a lot of things to talk to you about too. So, I'll be awaiting your next visit. Trusting in that promise, I say this with a smile, and from the gap in the fissure, Misyr is about to disappear from sight.
Yes, wait for me. My dear Kotone.
He declares this with a soft voice. Back to Misyr's perspective. The fissure closes slowly, cruelly and mercilessly, severing my connection to her. In my hand, much like when I met her, the cup is safe with the coffee inside. Before the contents turn to ash, I take a sip of it with my obscured mouth. I don't even know where it is exactly.
This really is it. For me, the best cup.
I know it's self-interest on my part. Despite just realizing how dangerous and hideous I am. Out of sheer excitement, I promise to go back to Enchante. I know, for me, how foolish that choice was. But at least, one last time, I want to see her at the shop and at least part ways with her properly. The last time, huh?
If I didn't have this form, this power, I could be with her as much as I like.
With her making this coffee for me, I've become so terribly greedy. My feelings for Kotone won't stop welling up. Those little feelings that live deep in my chest, they warm my heart. Makes me desire anything and everything. That's why.
I want to go back. Back to when I was still human.
When I utter something I had given up on tens of thousands of years ago. Wait, what? Who is this? Why? A voice reaches me. At first I thought it was the wind. But I was wrong. I'm not sure if I kind of want to give the voice... I kind of want to give this voice a different modulation that I've been giving it. So I'm gonna try something new. Something that's a little bit more subdued than the prologue voice I've been using. Just cause it's kind of hard to understand, and I don't know if we're gonna have a lot more dialogue. I'm gonna try this one. Kind of a more subdued growl and whisper.
Why?
It's muffled, but it's clearly the voice of someone. I'm dumbfounded with the surprise at a tone that shouldn't exist in this world.
Who's there?
I look around, but I see nothing besides grave markers and storms of ash. But the voice remains unchanged, as though resounding through space to me.
Even I want to see her. 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 I did my best to reach out to her. To save her. I even helped you.
Dark feelings fall.
And yet, my hand was slapped away. And you reached your hand to her again. It's unfair. Why only me? Why only you?
What are you talking about?
I returned a question to the voice's owner, but it seems my response was meaningless. For some reason, the voice only speaks of dark hatred for me. A massive earthquake that shouldn't exist in this world shakes my footing.
If you curse that body so much, give it to me, Misyr.
What?
Wait, what? A night passes after my chance meeting with Misyr through the fissure. That's a relief. It wasn't a dream. I gaze at the counter that was missing one cup and feel okay. Last night was real. I saw Misyr. Of course, there are still many mysteries and questions relating to him and the anomalies in other worlds now, but for now, just that fact It gives me a sense that the unease swirling inside me has reduced a little bit. When I tell everyone about what happened last night, their mood is calmer than before too. Haha, I see you're more cheerful. Yes, thanks to that. Although I think it's simple-minded of me. That's not true. You're just that happy about seeing Misyr, right? We were worried about Misyr too. To be honest, I'm relieved. When Canis and company gets back, we need to tell him about this, right? You! Goro seems happy too, slapping his tail fins on the table in a cheery rhythm. Oh right! Il left for the GPM early this morning, but he was happy to hear my story too. He left humming a tune. Il went to go help that weirdo today, if I recall right. Yeah. To tell the truth, from a little while back, Mikado was thinking this out. By combining Il's magic with GPM technology, if a big fissure occurs in the human world, apparently, it might be possible to figure out the location ahead of time. Karya grunts at this notion. It would be best if such a fissure didn't occur, though. I'll pick up Il and bring him back tonight, so don't worry about your night guard. Yes, thank you very much. Just then, there's a vibration sound from Rindo's pocket notifying an incoming call. Rindo says sorry for interrupting and presses the accept call button, then... Hello? Hello? To the Enchante owner and Rindo too! Are you doing well? I'm in an amazing mood, full of ecstasy at the super rare, non-human fallen angel being here as a temporary assistant. Ha! Ha! Right now I could sneakily pull one feather from his back. You wouldn't notice, right? Speak of the devil, as they say. Probably because he wants to talk to us all, Rindo had quickly switched to speaker mode. What is it, Mikado? Did something happen to Il after he got over there? No. This is separate. I have a little request for you, aside from requesting his cooperation. For me? Yes! I heard from Rindo and Il that you were able to see Misyr. Perhaps Misyr's presence left some influence on Enchante where you are. The fissures seem to occur there easily. So if a similar phenomenon occurs again, if a fissure appears again, I'd like to also observe the response. According to his explanation, he completed the analysis of Misyr's coffee cup data that I had lent him before, and identified the same compounds from the ash that had remained on Asmodeus's arm. In other words, those compounds should be related to Misyr himself, or his world. So he wants to input that compound data into a special device and install them around the Enchante Gate and other places. If the fissures in space occur, and the same compounds enter from them, in response, the main device at the GPM will activate. It would automatically collect useful data for predicting fissure locations. That's how it works. In addition, those devices also have a function of recording sound from around them. With that, sounds that signal a fissure opening, where Misyr's voice could be heard, and etc. Not just the atmosphere, it would allow thorough investigation of every possible clue. That's about everything. Mikado claps his hand on the other end. Starting now, those devices. Or more like... Wait, what? Or more like what? I've already given them to my assistant and he's heading over. Do you mind if he installs them around Enchante when he arrives? Your assistant? Ah, could you mean the hooded man I met at the GPM before? So he doesn't try any funny business. From what I heard, it seems like he knows most of our circumstances here. Then, I shouldn't have a reason to refuse. Yeah, that's fine. Thanks! With an energetic announcement of gratitude, Mikado hangs up the call. It seems like we're moving forward, little by little. Yeah, with everything happening in other worlds too. I hope it's all taken care of soon. After that, Rindo returned to the GPM. During that time, Karia and Koro stayed with me. Hi, you're back in that outfit. Oh, you're Mr. Assistant, right? I talked to Mikado about the plan, so feel free. I'm just gonna pretend he's not Solitis. Affirmative. Then I shall install the devices in suitable locations on all floors. He seems really dutiful. Next to that excitable Mikado, I think he makes a good balance. The assistant goes around all the rooms and halls installing the devices for Mikado. After that, without any particular notice, he leaves the shop. Karia also goes back home before nightfall. As though changing places with him, Il returns from the GPM to work as my night guard. With that, a rather busy day ends, right when it's about to hit 2200 hours. In my own room, I reflect on the day's events as I hold Kororo. Said he would take some time for him to return to human form. Maybe Misyr will come visit after about 3 days. Q. This time, Kororo makes a positive cry of agreement rather than consolation. After I pet Kororo, I go to change my clothes to sleep when... Rather intense sound rings from outside. Q? What was that sound? Il should be standing in front of my room, guarding me. Il, did something happen? I get curious and try calling to him through the door. Il? I get a weird feeling when he doesn't reply, so I try calling again. Is something the matter? Do you need something from me? This time, he immediately replies to me through the door. Q? Yeah, I was a bit curious about that big sound. That. While embarrassing. The floor below. I perceived a strange sound from near the shop gate. In surprise, I ended up losing my posture. What? From the gate? Yes. I tried searching, and this magic power and presence is without a mistake Misyr. Misyr? But... He said it would take time for him to go back to normal. And it's dangerous at night, so we always set the gate to closed. With Misyr's skill, it wouldn't be strange for him to shorten the time a bit. Along with the plate, he should be able to forcibly open it. Il says somewhat vacantly. Seeing how he's returned, please go greet him. I'll remain on standby in my room. Without waiting for my reply, it seems he left the front of my room. I don't like this. If Misyr came back, Il should want to see him too. After all, he was waiting for him to visit every day. Ah, maybe he heard our conversation last night and he's being considerate? In that case, I don't want to disregard his consideration. And I really want to go see Misyr as soon as he comes back too. Oh, also, I should make coffee for him again. Goro, I'll be going for a bit.
You!
Holding back my impatience, I head straight for the room with the gate. Who dis? The one called Il held a conversation through the door with Kotone. After finishing the conversation, he immediately moves to the second floor. There, without hesitation, he enters his objective room. No changes? Who is this? Oh no! Did they reset Il? No. Or else he wouldn't be saying anything. The true angels with pure white wings on their backs, under his command, nod in silence. In the center of the room, spread on the floor, a small pool of blood. A certain individual was restrained, his limbs and neck included, his whole body tangled up in threads of light stretching from thin air. Oh no, okay, maybe, did they just imitate his voice? So, guess who? Why did we ever let him in the cafe? I'm just gonna pretend he's still Mikado's assistant. Confirm manipulation of Kotone Awaki. Removing vocal cord imitation effect. Hi. The man who called himself Il dispels all of his imitation spells that were hiding his true identity. Okay. It also took off your robe. And the real Il knows the name of the imposter. Solitis, what did you do to her? Despite the threads constricting his throat, Il utters the name of the angel before him.
Do not worry, Apostle of Judgment. This individual has no malicious intent. I simply guided her to the gate due to that location's superior soundproofing, which keeps that space suitably isolated. A temporary measure to prevent her from perceiving the recovery of you.
However, saying this, Solitis makes an addition as a warning Il.
That applies if you do not resist, that is.
If Il resists, he can't guarantee the safety of Kotone, is what it means.
Although, it would be unthinkable for you to resist a compulsory command from my spear.
Despite indifferently speaking of his objective to Il, this apostle is the symbol of fear. The being also called the right hand of God. To think they would meet in the human world. Rather, oh, to think he'd be attacked. Solitis made use of the request from Mikado to install the devices. To hide Rosarios for spatial teleportation in various places. Using those, he made his move to recover Il. was a complete surprise attack. El desperately tries to keep breathing in frustration at his failure to perceive it.
Now, we return to heaven, Apostle of Judgment. Your reconnection can wait for later. You must meet with God once again. The heavenly world now faces an unprecedented crisis. To oppose this crisis, the power of your true form is required.
Reconnection. Original form. Il instantly understands the meaning and his face goes pale. Sorry. Drank some water and I went down the wrong pipe. At the same time, that Il tries to somehow squeeze out a voice.
Redeploying spell. Commencing teleportation via wormhole to the heavenly world.
Il's figure, along with Solitis and the other angels, are all engulfed in rising light and vanish. Right, to Kotone's perspective, I entered the gate room as Il urged me to, but... Huh? Inside the room, it's just the gate standing alone by itself. There's nobody here? I looked around and behind it, but there's no sign of anyone. I checked the plate in the end, but it's still unchanged and set to closed. Could Il have been half asleep? Now that I think about it, Il hasn't slept for several days to guard me. Maybe his fatigue finally showed itself today. In that case, next time Canis or Ignis comes back, we should let him rest. Thinking this, I go to leave the room. Not gonna be that easy. There's a sound at my back. When I wonder what it is, I turn around towards the gate. As though flung, the plate flips over to open. What? Then the doorbell drops its light tone in the dimly lit room. Oh no. This looks like Misyr. Finally. I finally met you. Mys? What came leaping out from it was the man I've been waiting to see. The hand he extends. I'm captured in his arms without any time to be surprised. Then, as though being embraced, I'm pulled in by him to the other side of the gate. Chapter 4. Oh no. Now, okay. We're a little bit of a pickle here. Anyway, end of the chapter. This isn't the last chapter though. Misyr has 6 chapters, so we still got 2 more after 4. Okay. A little bit fearful for Kotone, but we'll find out what happens to her. And the next episode. Isn't that world like extremely dangerous? Like nothing can live there except for Misyr. Like it's just a barren world. Alright, anyway, I hope you guys had a fun time with this. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.